Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar or executive dialogue on why transformation efforts fail inside organization. My name is Aimee Turla, and welcome to everyone that's joining us today. Thank you for taking the time. This is a relatively new time. Usually we do our webinars at around 5 o'clock, but this one is special and it's different. You can expect a guest panelist, no, as we have announced. So, but before that, let me just do a quick survey lang, no, from our participants today. Can you type on the chat box, number 1, if this is your first time to join our program? Ayan. See, I see a lot of new names actually, no? Ayan, madami-dami. Okay. Thank you very much and welcome to our program today. We do hope that this will be worth your while. To begin, let me just again introduce myself. My name is Aimee Torla. I am the Project and Development Manager at Talent Reach Consulting. We are committed to helping organizations strengthen their people strategies through our practical, human-centered, and results-driven training and development programs. We also partner with leaders and professionals um, to design workshops, dialogues such as this, and initiatives that address the evolving changes and challenges of today's workplaces. So I'm very privileged to co-host this session alongside seasoned human resource and organization development professionals. So over the next 1.5 hours, we will be exploring the common pitfalls that cause transformation initiatives to stall, and more importantly, share actionable insights and frameworks to help organizations succeed in their change efforts. So we encourage everyone to engage actively by asking questions to make this dialogue a meaningful exchange of ideas. So again, thank you for joining us. So let's begin by introducing, of course, our main speaker and our esteemed guest panelist. Okay, let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, is sunod. C. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, so let me introduce our main speaker, Mr. Ronaldo Turla. He is a trusted HR leader and consultant with over 20 years of experience in building strong, compliant, and high-performing organization. He is a certified human resource professional and also a certified organization and development professional by the World Academy of Research and Development in UK. He combines expertise in practical battle-tested strategies that deliver results. So today, he is a mentor to HR leaders and organizations in the construction, education, retail sectors, delivering impactful training workshops that drive sustainable business growth. And of course, we would like to welcome our esteemed guest panelist for this afternoon's webinar, Ms. Beng Orosa. She's a seasoned human resource and organization development leader with over 30 years of corporate experience across manufacturing, retail, import, export, and startup companies. So she specializes in talent management, organization development, leadership development, learning and development, and workforce planning and succession management and union management. She holds a master's of science in human capital and organization development from the University of Asia and the Pacific. She is a facilitator for the Certificate in Organization Development Program of PMAP and UANP. She is a transformation and OD consultant, and currently she is the senior vice president, assistant vice president rather, for human resources in the SF store. So let's all welcome our main host and speaker, Mr. Ronaldo Turla and Ms. Beng Orosa.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be joined by our speaker for today, Ms. Beng Orosa. And also, I'd like to thank everyone who's joined us. No, so this is really a very good turnout for our second executive dialogue. So we welcome everyone here for our short offering for everyone here who are wanting to listen and wanting to learn. No? Yeah. Okay. So today is a not a simple webinar. It is not also a training session, and of course, it's not a sales presentation for anyone. So today is an executive conversation. It's an executive dialogue. Hence, we brought really a heavyweight, I would say, in terms of the both. No, 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 yeah. So heavyweight in terms of credentials, and when I saw her put credential. No? Of course, thank you. Let me just also acknowledge the help that Mr. Eric Del Castillo has given me for finding Miss Beng Orosa, no? So finding a gem, no, in this particular industry, no? Yeah. So yeah, let me just I don't know, ask Miss Beng. Good afternoon first to you. How are you feeling today?
Wow. Good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction, Amy. And I'm good. I'm excited to explore why so many initiatives stall and what organizations can do to ensure people, leadership, and culture drive lasting impact. So, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. Okay. So now, to set up my introduction, so let me introduce no, before we go into our panel discussion. So later on, we will go with Miss Beng when we talk about our panel discussion. But for now, let me first introduce no, what we are going to talk about for today. No? So since we have a limited time, no, we wanted really no, to focus on the questions no, as we go through the whole executive dialogue. So across industries, as you can see, organizations are investing heavily in a lot of leadership programs, culture initiatives, no, digital transformations, restructuring project, and of course, workforce development. No, yet as we can see, despite efforts that we're pouring in, many organizations continue to struggle no, with this execution. No? Projects tend to lose momentum, yung change efforts no usually stall, desired behaviors fail to sustain no and employees experience parang they they experience no fatigue no which is very common in a lot of organizations. So this now raises an important question no so the question of why do transformation efforts fail despite good intentions no and of course significant investment. So this question is what we're going to discuss no? So that's our main goal for today, is to discuss why this transformation efforts fail in organizational level. That's why no, the reason why I call this a very specific and specialized topic, because it requires really our interest no, in terms of organizational development. And hence, that's the reason why I took the time no, to be able to invite our speaker for today, because she brings with us no, this particular experience no, of transformation. Okay, let me just pull up my deck very quickly. As we go through some very quick survey for our participants. No? Again, we're live today, no? But for those who are here present right now, in case you're not able to join us, no, this is a recorded video that will be uploaded in YouTube. So, you can spread the news that you can try to view it again. You know, our first executive dialogue, I remember, was also uploaded in YouTube in terms of World Academy. You can search that one out through our Facebook page. And that was a good discussion for everyone. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, here are some forces, no, that are affecting organizations. No, you have rapid market shifts, no, the customer expectations and competitor moves, no, outpacing strategic planning. No, na before ang strategic planning usually happens once a year, but now, no, probably more than once ang ginagawa for strategic planning. No, second, force could be workforce changes. Of course, we are now experiencing hybrid models and shifting talent expectations, reshaping no, the operating model. No? That's why if you look at even yung HR operating models, parang nagbabago yan. You know? So if you notice, there are different models no, that we follow. But nowadays, it's always being challenged. No? One model after the other could be challenged. No? Third, of course, no, would be leadership transitions. We have, of course, succession, restructuring, of course, turnover no, of critical levels for organizations. We all know that. That's why there's a talent shortage, for example, for some organizations. That's why there is a leadership transition. No? Number four, course, could be the technology disruption. No, AI, of course, we have automation, digital platforms, redrawing competitive boundaries. No? So technology disruption is definitely one of the things that are affecting us. No? And number five is, of course, increased complexity. No? So more stakeholders, more dependencies, and a smaller margin for execution. Okay, now I'd like to engage with our participants for this afternoon. And again, thank you. From ngayon pa lang, I'm already thanking everyone here spending their time. I know your time is all precious, and I really truly appreciate your investment for this time. Okay, so my question here for the poll survey: what best describes your organization's current transformation? Ayan. Okay. So can you type your answers? Ang choices natin dito would be, of course, one, transformation succeeding. Two, mixed results. Three, there's frequent setbacks. Or four, there are major transformation challenges. Okay, so kindly type in so that we can try to see what describes your organization's current transformation. Okay, type your answers in the chat box. Yeah, okay. Amy, what numbers are we seeing from the chat box? Can you
Looking at their answers, no, it looks like number two or mixed results tops the answer on what best describes your organization's current transformation, followed by number four, which is the major transformation challenges.
Mhm. Okay, so thank you for sharing that results. No? So again, we have now an idea of what is describing, no, the current transformation for our organization or for your organization. Okay. Now, if we look at it, no, sabi natin, no, transformation is no longer optional for us. Hence, the question is not whether your organization should change. No? So we need to embrace change. No? Now, the question that we have here is, do we have the capacity or capability, no, to manage change effectively? Now, in your screen right now, we have what we call the common symptoms, no, of failed transformation. Okay, so which we're going to discuss more, no, during our panel discussion. Now, what are some of this? No, probably you can relate to this particular common symptoms of failed transformation. No? For one, there could be an initiative overload. Okay, so when you say initiative overload, no, too much commitment, overcommitment of people. I've seen this also happen in my projects before, where there were a lot of things that were being espoused by management, and hence there seems to be an overload of commitment. No? So that could be a symptom that a transformation can fail. No? A second symptom of a failed transformation could be the lack of accountability. So the ownership for outcome could be diffused across the organization. So accountability is something that is very important, no, when you are talking about the commitment to change. No? Because when there's a lack of accountability, we can experience people withdrawing their support, or somehow people not committing to schedules, or even to the idea, for example. No? So there could be a lack of accountability. Okay. The third symptom that we can see here would be leadership inconsistency. Huh? So having mixed signals from the top can erode credibility and trust. I remember just specifically, in a project that I did years ago, when two of the executives of the organization, created or at least hosted meetings, and I was able to join both of them, both of meeting, but both of them were speaking a different tune. No? So in that case, somehow, no, there could be that inconsistency, because somehow certain interests can affect, no, your leadership vision. No? So that could affect your leadership consistency. Okay. The fourth symptom that we can see here could be resistance to change. No? So this is one of my favorite, no? Because all through my journey of HR, I would say that I have encountered such, no, yung resistance to change. The power structure to defend the status quo na, the question of why. Why do I need to change? Huh? So in that case, that is one very important question that OD, no, practitioners like us should be able to answer. No? And hopefully, I hope that our panel speaker could share some techniques, no, later on as we ask her in our panel discussion. Let's try to ask, how do you address resistance to change? Okay. The fifth symptom is silo mentality. No? When you say silo mentality, the functions optimized locally, eroding enterprise value. No? So I've always said this in some of my workshops that when companies have the silo mentality, they tend to compete based on their function and not compete with the actual competitor of the organization. So when there's silo mentality, the tendency is for departments or groups to compete with each other. Nothing wrong with that, no. But if that becomes really the main issue, no, then it would defeat the purpose of serving the customer of the company. Okay. Finally, another symptom of a failed transformation could be employee disengagement. No? Of course, discretionary effort and retention decline measurably. No? So yeah, so we all know that employee disengagement definitely affects any change effort, no? Because yung turnovers natin could actually affect yung support that is given to us. Ayan. Okay. Now, all of these symptoms are, of course, of a failed transformation. Now, the hidden reality here that we can see is that most organizations do not have a transformation problem. No, this is the counter argument that we have for today. But most organizations have organizational capability problem. No, so hence, no, yung mga gaps in terms of capability uh, cannot just be simply closed by adding more programs in the portfolio. Sabi nga natin. Okay? Now, let me ask our participant, no, before we dive into our panel discussion, no, let's pause for a while. And I'd like you to identify which symptoms creates the greatest challenge in your organization today. So let me again, flash this slide about the common symptoms. No? So based on what you're observing, as participants here right now, can you identify and type in the chat box what are the symptoms that you are experiencing that could affect transformation in your organization? Okay, you can type any of these particular phrases here in the chat box. And I kindly see what are the responses of our participants.
All right. So looking at the answers, no, I think there's a good number showing resistance to change, and then leadership inconsistency and employee disengagement. And some are even seeing all of the above, no? But then there's also the lack of accountability.
Mhm.
So basically, yeah, the one that's seeing a lot from our participants would be resistance to change, leadership inconsistency, and employee disengagement.
Okay, very good. No, so thank you for sharing that particular answer with us, no, with regards to this particular question. Okay, so we now see that certain symptoms are, pervading, no, certain companies or organizations as of today. Okay, so we now come to the part. So I've now laid the background of what we're going to discuss for today. So this time, no, I'd like us to our panel speaker to join us in this panel discussion. The way we have done our panel discussion in our first executive dialogue last May 13 is we'll be asking some questions, no, and definitely later on we will be also allowing for some questions to be ask, no, for our panelists. So later we will open the floor for Q&A. Okay. So let me now invite our guest panelist for today, Miss Beng Orosa, to join us in this panel discussion.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon again.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, Miss Beng. Okay. So let's now start our discussion. So this is the meat of our program or our dialogue for today. Okay. Um. So the first question that I'd like to throw in the dialogue would be, what are some of the major transformation challenge? I'd like to hear from you. Based on your experience and also your current organization, what challenges are you facing today?
Mm-mm. Okay. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the responses of our 76 participants. No, I couldn't agree more, no, that you are facing similar symptoms, no, because I also experienced the same and currently experiencing all of it also, no. So, kaya ako, I think would now say that most transformation efforts don't fail because of strategy. No? They fail because organizations underestimate, no, the human side of change. So if you notice
Mm,
the deck of Ronnie, no, is stating the 6 symptoms. All of it, no, is all about human experience. All of it is all about people, no. So, and what is being underestimated by most organization is the human side of change. Kaya yung issues natin, yung symptoms natin are also recurring like a vicious cycle. Kasi
mhm,
we have forgotten the human side of change. Okay, now, as to answering your question, no, let me address that question from my experience as an OD practitioner and a facilitator of learning in OD, where I have engagements with other companies. No, so today, the organizations are not struggling. No, based on your intro, also, Ronnie, we are not struggling anymore of lack of ideas or lack of
mm,
initiatives. Oh, what we
mhm,
are really struggling now is transformation. I couldn't agree more on the overload, no? Yung multiple, complex, urgent na mga transformation that we are expected to do in our organization.
mm,
Oo.
mhm,
So, yung based on my experiences, I have identified, I think, a few number of transformation challenges, no? Yung first of which is being experienced by my company and my other
mm,
companies, no? The first area is actually digital transformation. So, many companies, including mine, no, are exploring, investing in AI, no, automation. I'm sure most of the
mm,
participants here ganun din, no? Analytics,
mhm,
digital transformations, omni-channel, no? Lalo na sa retail, no? Omni-channel. The
mm,
technology itself is not usually the biggest challenge. Hindi siya. No, the
mhm,
challenge is really helping people adapt to new ways of working and integrating these technologies into the day-to-day operations. Yun yung first na challenge na nakikita ko. And the second area is
mhm,
actually workforce transformation, which you also mentioned.
mm,
Yeah, yung workforce today, no? Gen Z being in the workforce already, multi-generational workforce, more mobile and has different expectations, no, around
mm,
flexibility, yung career growth, 'di ba? And employee experience, no? All of this, no, are making or demanding from our organization to redesign, no, the jobs,
mhm,
no, develop new
mhm,
skills and create more engaging workplaces while maintaining yung hinahanap nating productivity, because at the end of the day we are
mm,
still a business, 'di ba? So,
mm,
so
mhm,
yeah, that's the second, yung workforce transformation. The third area, no, is because being in retail, 'di ba? Yung customer experience transformation. So in retail,
mm,
customer expect seamless experience talaga. So whether they
mm,
are shopping in store via brick and mortar store, 'di ba?
mhm,
Online or through mobile apps or social media even.
mm,
So delivering the customer experience in a consistent manner requires multiple departments working together. So you mentioned about silos, no? Because they have different, lahat ng departments natin, they have different objectives in the organizations, diba? So ang requirement for the consistency in seamless customer experience is, breaking the silos, no, making the departments work together, which is often
Mm.
easier than done. Diba?
Yes.
So yun. And then,
Agree.
yeah, diba? So and then the other one, which is the biggest, no, sabay-sabay kasi itong nangyayari ngayon, lalo na ngayon, no, with all the political, di ba, geopolitical na nangyayari sa Pilipinas. No, yung many organizations are also undergoing cultural transformation. So that's my
Mm.
fourth. No? And
Mm.
all of them, they're trying to become more agile. Yan. Lagi nating naririnig
Mm.
ang agility as a skill. Innovative.
Mm.
They want to be innovative. They want to be customer-centric, data-driven. Yung culture
Mm.
transformation, particularly difficult because it requires changing behaviors. No, hindi
Mm.
tayo nag-change ng isang proseso or technology. We are changing
Mm.
behaviors, habits, no,
Yeah.
mindsets, no, which takes
Mm.
a lot of time and a lot of focus and intention. So it's not just
Mm.
systems and processes na we are transforming. We are transforming the behaviors and habits and mindsets. So what makes this transformation challenging, no, is that they're all happening simultaneously. They are
Mm.
all
Mm.
complex, as I have said, they are all urgent. Kailangan ng company na mangyari, di ba? And
Mm.
organizations are trying to change technologies, processes, skills, di ba? And culture at the same time. So, kaya to answer this very simply, the challenge is not isolated initiatives anymore or the lack of it, no? But really, it's the concurrent transformation overload. So
Mm.
imagine,
Yeah.
no, I have a simple analogy. So it's like
Mm.
if it's like juggling 5 flaming torches, no, while riding a unicycle. Kahit na yung best performer mo would eventually drop
Yeah.
something, 'di ba? So
Yeah.
kasi simultaneous overloaded ang mga tao, ang daming ginagawa bukod pa doon sa current role that they should be doing. So
Yeah.
So, kung i-frame natin siya, no? So, organizations don't really, bueno, parang they don't fail because they have too few or konti lang yung
Yeah.
initiative nila or konti lang yung transformation changes, activities or programs nila. They fail because
Yeah.
they launch too many of it all at once
Yeah.
without taking the bandwidth or the muscle of the employees to absorb all of them. No, kaya
Yeah.
nagdidwindle siya. So yung mga organization natin, they are not, even my company, no, we are not managing change sequentially, no, hindi siya linear.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
managing, multiple, simultaneous, permanent at that, no, permanent transformation.
Yeah.
Yun. Ang
Because
dami ko
just
nasabi.
thank you,
Mm,
Bang, for that. That's very loaded. I
mm,
mean,
mm, mm,
the
mm.
transformation types are very. So I just wanted to comment about the sequence, because as you've mentioned, nowadays it's not just about the sequence, because of the overload. Although people would want to have sort of like a sequence, in terms of what should be prioritized, what should be
Mm-mm.
done first, for example. But we now have a workplace where there's multiple priorities that people have to engage with, no? And the thing with that is, of course, people can get burned out of these initiatives, right? So that's why it's important to have that kind of balance between the initiatives, no, so that you don't get people to tap out
Exactly.
of the
Yes.
change, no. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, kasi number one, kasi nga it's all happening, no, at the same time, all at the same time. So
Mm,
andun pa rin yung prioritization at saka yung why, no? We always begin with the why. And para saan ba to? Bakit ba to ginagawa, no? I think for
mm,
me that's the most critical question that we should be answering before even putting everything into the implementation phase. So everybody should be onboarded at the beginning. What? Why? How? No? So where?
Yeah.
When? 'Di ba? Yung gano'n,
Yeah.
no? And what do we
Yeah.
expect from all of this? What's in it for
Yeah.
me as the janitor, as the clerk, 'di ba? So yun yung ano, yun yung first and foremost, yung dapat na titignan natin.
Yeah. Okay. That's good, no? Okay. Let's now
Mm.
look at the second panel question for this afternoon, no? So um the second question I'd like to ask Miss Beng or Beng,
Mm.
no?
Yeah, Ben,
Why
please. Yeah.
why why do you think many change initiatives fail to sustain momentum, no? Because based on your answers earlier, we see that there's those different types of transformation. Now, probably let's try to narrow it down, no, in terms of why this change can actually fail to get momentum.
Mm-mm.
Here are some possible questions. No? Is it question of leadership? Is it a question of culture? Is it a question of systems or accountability? No?
Mm-mm.
So I'd like to get your answer on this particular question.
Wow, heavy, no? So, okay, again, I would always rely on my, refer to my experience, no? Anyway, it's 30 years, over 30 years, no? So,
Mm,
based on my experience, organization on transformation strategies, the failure to sustain it usually comes down in three, no, interrelated factors, no, that are
mm,
often underestimated. They are really interrelated. So yung
mhm,
kasi so many change initiative starts with a tremendous energy. Yung Big Bang, 'di ba? Very
mm,
colorful, no? There's noise about it. There's the kick-off meeting, there's town hall, project plan, 'di ba? Mga training sessions, lahat ng klase
mhm,
ng communication campaigns, may video, may EGC ka, employee generated content and all of those, no? But in 6 months later, I tell you, people will gradually return to old ways, no? Old ways
mm,
of working, old ways of thinking, 'di ba? Old habits. So the reason is that transformation often succeeds at launch emotionally. Kasi during launch, what ang ano natin is to catch the attention eh. Kaya we appeal to the
mm.
emotion at the start, no? But
Yeah.
fails the initiative later operationally. So,
Mhm,
what are these three interrelated factors? Yung first of which, I think
mm,
actually most of it na-mention mo na kanina. First of which is
mhm,
the factor on employee engagement, no?
mm,
So too often change is perceived as top-down mandate, 'di ba?
mm, mm.
Binababa, no? Top
Yeah.
down. Pinababa sa atin. So employees may understand, no, what is changing, but they don't really understand fully, no, why it matters to them, how it will
Mhm,
benefit them in their role, in their teams, or even the
mhm.
organization. So, yun yung wala. So, without that connection, no, the initial enthusiasm really fades and
Yeah.
old habits will start to resurface. Kasi dapat talaga na-answer natin yun from the start, why it matters, no?
Mhm,
And then the second factor, na-mention mo rin siya kanina, I was writing eh. So, leadership consistency. So,
mm,
employees, no, ito, our participants, they're all aware of this. Employees pay close attention to what leaders do, not just
mhm,
what they say. No? In
mhm,
fact, I remember, mamaya marami akong i-share about yung mga actual projects. No? 3 years
mhm,
ago, nag-launch kami ng refresh, no, of our Delight
mm,
values. So, some people, you would hear them, yung boss ko nga, hindi naman niya ini-embody yung values eh, di ba?
mhm,
So,
mhm.
so people know that, no, because they pay close attention to what they do, to what they say, no. Leaders, and if the leaders do not take advantage of that ability, no, to communicate the compelling vision, yung compelling purpose, no. And if they continue rewarding old behaviors, for example, one of the values that you want to espouse is collaboration, but the leader is continuously, rewarding individual performance, then you are not, people will think that
Mm,
the
mhm,
transformation is not taken consistently and seriously. Kasi you have launched collaboration as one of the values, and yet you are
Mm.
rewarding performance individually. So yeah, people see all of those, no? People take their cues from the leadership, and if the behaviors isn't visibly demonstrated, the change will
Mhm.
not really stick. Yung
Mhm.
third na underestimated uh, na factor is that capability building. You also mentioned that, no? Ako,
Mm.
I espouse capability building, no? I take my own personal development as my own. So dito sa company namin, no, meron kaming self-development and team development. So yung self-development, the employees are taken 100%, they take charge of their own development and learning. No, so
Mm.
organizations sometimes assume that once training is delivered, no, employees are instantly ready to take the change. Pero
Mm.
hindi, no? In reality,
Yeah.
sustainable transformation requires continuous reinforcement. And when I say
Mm.
continuous reinforcement, I often refer to, I don't know if you're familiar with the 4 E's of development. So it's
Mm.
education, exposure,
Mhm.
experience, and environment. So apat na E's, four
Mm.
E's ang tatandaan natin when we do capability building.
Mm.
So education, of course, no, simply put, it will provide you with the knowledge and skills. So
Yeah.
for example, taking the certificate course in OD. So it will provide you the
Mm.
knowledge and skills because the skill is the foundation
Mm.
of job execution. So make sure
Mm.
that your employees are educated, are trained, no? So yung
Yeah.
exposure naman allows employees to learn from leaders, from mentors, from coaches,
Mm.
no? From peers, 'di ba?
Mm.
Experiences comes in naman from applying the new skill, no? This is
Yeah.
doing, no, the what you have learned.
Mhm.
And many HR can look at it as putting the employee in real life situations or providing
Yeah.
projects. And then
Mhm.
one of the most important is actually environment, which is underestimated
Mhm.
among the 4 E's.
Yeah.
Normally you have the 3 E's, education, exposure,
Mhm.
experience. But na-underestimate yung isang E, which is environment. So what
Mhm.
do we look at under environment? We look at the culture, we look at the system, yung support mechanisms, no?
Mhm.
These are all part of the total capability building kasi it encourages further experimentation on the part of the learner. So yung feedback,
Mhm.
yung growth, yung coaching, yung support ng heads, all of it, no? When all four are present, employees not only learn faster,
Mhm.
but also apply new behaviors with
Mhm.
confidence. Kasi they are
Mhm.
guided, they are mentored, they are coached, no? So the
Yeah.
confidence level is really high. So when
Yeah.
you ask me whether change fails because of leadership, culture, is it systems or is it accountability? My answer is that all of them matter.
Yeah.
Bakit? Why? Because leadership sets the direction, di ba? Very
Mm.
simply.
Mm.
Diba? And then culture is the one reinforcing the behavior. The behaviors
Mm.
that you want the organization to be part of the DNA. Diba? It's the culture.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about system, it's enabling the execution. No? You have the system, diba? And then accountability would ensure follow through. No?
Mhm.
Kasi, di ba, everybody is accountable for the change that the company is wanting to have. No? So,
Mhm.
sustainable change happens when all of these elements are working together. Di ba?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yung simple ano ko dito, parang ako, I would always want to relate it in simple analogy para mas mag-stick, no? So,
Mm.
parang ano siya, it's like when you launch a change initiative, no, without embedding it in the organization, it's like planting a tree and forgetting to water it. So,
Mm.
'di ba, it may look promising at first, ang ganda ng plant, no?
Mm. Mm.
But eventually it withers, it will dry, and then eventually it will die. So ultimately, Sustainable change happens when your organization, our organization, move beyond, no, from implementation and focus on adoption. That's number one. Focus on reinforcement and focus on cultural integration. If the time comes na sinabi na natin na this is how we do things now, and this is already part of the DNA, then you can probably say that transformation has, is successful kasi it's now integrated in your culture. So again, it's easier said than done, no? It's hindi siya madali, no? Kaya as HR professionals, as HR leaders, focus on your capability building. Kasi a lot is expected from you guys, no? From our, we are expected to do all the transformation. But, so yun, no? That's it.
I realize that, no, just to comment on what Beng has mentioned, a lot is expected for the HR in the company, that's why as HR professionals, let's not forget to really build on ourselves in capability natin, because that is what will sustain us to the next phase, and all of these changes are happening simultaneously, as we've mentioned. Okay, so let me just acknowledge everyone. No? We're now at around 80. Our room can just accommodate about 100. That's why we're limited for this dialogue. No? But thank you again for all of our participants in the room. I hope you are enjoying, and kindly give us a thumbs up if you're, if this session is something very valuable. You're learning something valuable from this dialogue. Okay. Let's go to the third question, and this is very close to the HR topic, no, that I mentioned earlier. So the next question that we have here would be, what role do you think, no, an HR playing in HR transformation? So I'd really like to listen to your take on this, no, and also I would also give my opinion about this. But for this particular question, where do you think does HR succeed in terms of the transformation, and where does HR struggle in this case? So let's look at the two sides. No? Where does HR succeed in transformation, and where does
where we
HR struggle?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that wonderful question. Actually, just to tell you, Ronnie, HR is not my first love, okay? First love, ano ba, profession. Because I wanted to become a doctor. But so yun yung story ng buhay ko. But the Lord has other plans, so He directed me to become an HR professional or an HR leader. So siguro sabi niya, you have a lot of things to do in the organization. So having said that, no, being an HR leader for over 30 years, no, I would say that from my last statement, HR plays a very critical role in the organization transformation. But its impact, no? The impact of HR depends on how HR strategically position itself in the change process. So I'd like to repeat that. No? Your role as HR professional, as HR leader in the organization transformation is very critical. But it all depends on how you strategically position yourself in the change process. I believe, no, as ano ba, matagal na sa HR, no, I believe HR should not be a support function during organizational transformation. HR should be a strategic partner and a catalyst for change. I'm sure you always hear this, but that is very true. No? To truly enable change, HR, again, must be uniquely positioned and act as a strategic architect of organizational capability. Because I said, diba, transformation is actually and will always be about people. Okay?
Mhm.
Human side of change. Okay. So to answer the question, the first role of HR is to help create organizational readiness.
Mhm.
No? We need to understand how employees will be impacted and prepare them for the change journey ahead.
Mhm.
Okay? So the second role is HR should be in focusing on capability building. So as your company evolves, no, employees need new skills. Kailangan natin ng mga bagong skills for us to be able to sustain the change. So HR must identify, you must be knowledgeable in identifying skill gaps. Hindi uwido,
Mhm.
it should not be opinion. It should be based on tools. Kaya ako
Mhm.
talaga, I would encourage you studying OD. Kasi you will learn a
Mhm.
lot of tools in OD. So, ensuring learning and development initiatives are aligned with your business transformation goals. No? When you identify the gaps, you identify the skills that is needed for the organization, by the organization. So yung third, tatlo lang tong ano ko eh. Third,
Mhm.
HR should serve, as always, no, the voice of the employees. So we help leaders understand employees' concerns. No, yung mga resistance points. Kanina, you mentioned, no,
Mhm.
marami, almost, majority answered resistance to change. No?
Mhm.
So we have to know why there is resistance. What's the reason for the resistance? No? And discuss that with the leadership team. Engage
Mhm.
engage employees in the level of transparency so that the interventions that you will be you will craft, no, or you will initiate, no,
Mhm.
will be made early, no? Because at the start you are already identifying the employee concerns, yung
Mhm.
resistance points, no? So yun yung these are all important, no? And then the fourth, embed change into the organizational culture. So when you embed, no, it's actually systems thinking. Gagamit na tayo dito ng systems thinking kasi
Mhm.
you should be aligning performance management, rewards, recognition programs, leadership expectations, and even yung mga talent processes, no? Doon sa overall transformation journey.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
So, where does HR succeed? No? In all of this, HR succeed when your business strategy or business transformation is connected to people transformation.
Mhm.
So let me repeat that. HR really succeeds
Mhm.
when you connect the strategy, the business transformation with people transformation.
Mhm.
So if I'm sure all of you familiar with Microsoft, no? So
Mhm.
during the leadership of Satya Nadella, no, they were translating parang their organization into a cloud first strategy, no? So what did the HR director do, no, during those time? HR helped translate this strategy into programs, no, into to make sure that employees will be engaged, no? HR there built their capabilities, nag-reinforce sila ng mga new behaviors, no, during those transformation. So the company cannot transform without HR driving the capability building. So another example is Adobe. Adobe, ginagamit natin yan. So
Mhm.
when it moved from perpetual licenses to subscription, their HR
Mhm.
delivered coaching, mentoring, nag-training and development sila that allowed employees to adapt new ways of working
Mhm.
confidently. Uh-uh. So
Mhm.
There are so many examples. Unilever also, 'di ba? Na during their agile transformation, nag-align ang HR ng career path. Even sa amin, no, uh, 2019, no, na meron din kaming transformation. We needed to sit down and plan out, check on the career paths, performance incentives, uh, talent mapping, succession management, all of those, no? So, kasi that's part of accountability ng HR, 'di ba?
Mm,
Building the frameworks, building the culture. So, yan yung yan yung mga kailangan, 'di ba?
mhm,
So, even yung very simple communication. No? So, in all of this, no, HR drove communication, yung mga and culture
mm,
programs kasi we needed to ensure top down, down up, no? We understand the same thing. So
mhm,
we are very good at that. No? We are very good at ensuring that everybody knows, no, what's going on. But we need to deep dive. Why are we doing it? Okay? So yung second, anong struggle natin? Pare-pareho tayo ng mga struggles. Hindi naman, I think it's
mm,
not different from, my struggle is not different from yours, no? I'm sure pare-pareho, no? So, again, so where HR often struggle is when your transformation becomes focused on activities or when
mm,
your program exists in isolation rather than outcomes.
mhm,
No? So, kaya I have emphasized since I started talking, no, always uh, ask why.
mhm,
What's in it for us, no? So, for
mhm,
example, yung my company, no, or many other companies for this matter, we may invest in a new digital inventory system, for example. Dami naming
mhm,
items, diba? Or we invested on new point of sale or mga POS machines namin.
mhm,
But if our store managers or our personnel aren't trained, and yung
mhm,
incentives aren't aligned, or even yung frontline employees do not understand, no, how the
mhm,
new process or system or new tool will improve customer experience, the adoption will be really low.
mhm,
No? So the technology may be world class, but the
mhm,
transformation fails because the people side, the human side wasn't addressed.
mhm,
So, and if HR doesn't also equip leaders, no, to model the change consistently, employees
mhm,
will notice and the momentum will stalls.
mhm,
So this is during this time when HR is struggling. This is also the
mhm,
best time where you can create more value by turning this implementation into adoption, by training all of these struggles into
mhm,
actions, no?
mhm.
By refocusing your transformation implementation into adoption. So simple takeaway ulit, no?
Yeah.
HR's most effective role is really, no, to be a strategic architect and enabler. So when programs, culture or leadership and leadership are aligned, no? Like we've seen in Microsoft, Adobe, and Unilever, no? Transformation moves from project-based to lasting shift.
Mhm,
Kasi pag trinit natin ang transformation like just a project, so nagpa-project
yeah.
management ka lang. No?
Mhm,
So meron siyang timeline. So again, ang
mhm,
transformation is, lalo na pag culture transformation, which you often
mhm,
hear, di ba, in many organizations,
mhm,
there's no deadline. Kasi
mhm,
again, it's changing mindset, changing characters, changing behaviors yun.
mhm,
So in my view, successful transformation happens when HR sits at the table. So you also hear this, no, from the beginning,
Mm,
not after the decisions have already been made, no, in the transformation. So kayo mismo, no, you have to sit there. So HR isn't just we are not just rolling programs. We are
yeah.
embedding change into the
Mm,
organization's DNA. So yun, so making sure that people, yung process, yung culture are all moving together. No?
yeah.
Walang naiiwan. Okay? But Ronnie, I have a critical caveat kasi puro HR, di ba? My
Yeah.
critical caveat though is that transformation cannot be delegated to HR alone. While you
Yeah.
are a strategic partner and a
Totally agree.
leader, yes, transformation cannot be delegated to HR alone. So it requires the whole enterprise, no? It requires enterprise ownership, no, with leaders across
Yeah.
functions
Mm,
participating actively. So kanina in your earlier presentation, na-mention natin yung mga different departments, 'di ba? Iba-iba ng of
mm,
course iba-iba talaga. For example, HR, ano ang focus ng HR? People and culture. When we ask the focus of accounting or controllership, finance, cost, risk
mm,
management, 'di ba?
yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
when you talk about IT, what? Security, 'di ba? System.
Mm,
When you talk about
yeah.
marketing, it's, business, customer, sales, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
from there pa lang, no, talagang it's kind of difficult, no, to make them uh, be together. Kaya nga sabi ko at the beginning,
Yeah.
it's easier than that. But that's really the formula, no?
Mm,
All leaders across function must participate actively. So HR
mm,
is the architect. So we are not the construction crew or, 'di
mm,
ba? The leaders and systems, no, across the business must execute, reinforce, and sustain the change. No, hindi tayo yung lahat. Okay? So imagine nyo, tayong HR, hindi tayo DPWH, no? But ang analogy illustration ko dito is, we are like a city planner. Diba? We design the
yeah.
roads, the bridges, the infrastructure for transformation. But the whole city, the leaders, the teams, the systems must walk, drive, and build on it together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally agree. No? So,
Mm.
yeah, definitely yung mga transformation initiatives cannot cannot be fragmented in this case if we want some results to happen. And also I'd like to add no to our discussion that HR should always try to create value in terms of what we do. Let us not put ourselves in terms of just taking orders or just plainly
Agree. Yeah.
following in the instructions. For example, let's allow ourselves to use our critical thinking and air out our voice, for example, so that when we communicate to our stakeholders, no, our employees, our leaders, for example, we are resonating with them. Mahirap kasi yung
Mm.
HR sounds to be like, just uh, making people follow instructions. So which change, for me, change effort is not just simply following instructions. It's really about the transformation because every individual will be different, no? And the more that you understand the individual that you're working with, no, then you would definitely be able to influence them. Yeah. So yun yung mga, I think, important points that we have gathered. Okay, let me just check with our participants. Aini, can you check with our participants? How are they doing so far? Um, Let me ask Aini to check on our participants as we go towards our, I think we have one or two more panel discussion question.
Yeah. I think looking at the participants now, no, so may mga late joiners, but regardless, we're getting some questions as well as reactions, no, agreeing,
Yeah.
Okay.
no,
Mm-hmm.
by putting in their comments dito sa chat box. So we're very and as in our webinars, no, ang aming stay rate talaga, the people are listening. So yun yung isa sa mga, we're very appreciative about, the participants, is that they remain engaged by staying, no, even though they don't say a lot of things, no, in the chat box, but them looking at the numbers that's still in the room, actually motivates us to, keep them informed, keep them engaged, check in with them. Napaka-rich ng mga nakukuha natin, no,
Yes.
from Miss Beng.
Yeah.
Maraming
Yes.
salamat.
Thank you
I'm
very
also
much.
learning myself because listening to experts like yourself, talagang maraming natututunan, and I would agree that our participants also are getting a lot of takeaways from today's program. So we're very grateful for that. Yeah.
Thank you
Let me
all.
now thank you, Aimee, no? And thank you to our participants as well. So let me now jump to the next question. No? The next question that I have for Beng, no? What for you, no, distinguishes an organization that tries to sustain transformation successfully? So based on your 30 years of experience, as you've mentioned, what are those factors or criteria for us to say that certain transformation are sustainable or at least become successful?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. I often say that transformation is not measured by how well an organization starts it, no?
Mm-hmm.
But how well it continues. No? Kasi transformation nga siya eh. So hindi siya yung parang one time, big time, di ba? So many organizations can launch change initiatives, but
Mm-hmm.
only few are able to make change part of their organizational DNA. So those are the organizations that sustain transformation successfully. So again, in my experience, they typically share 5 characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
So, and agree ako dito, leadership alignment, a supportive culture, strong governance, yan. System thinking, yes. And I will add one more, a mindset that views transformation as a continuous journey rather than a one-time project. No? So,
Mm-hmm.
sige, tignan natin one by one. Yung first natin,
Mm-hmm.
leadership alignment. So first, successful companies, they have leaders who consistently champion the transformation. Okay. So I tell you now my story. So 3 years ago, we were, sabihin na lang for the lack of better word, task, okay, to refresh our values and make
Mm-hmm.
sure, the tall order is make sure that, you know, it will really show in the employees, in the
Mm-hmm.
organization. So parang it's a simple, sabihin natin task if you will
Mm-hmm.
only base it from that sentence, no? Refresh corporate values, make
Mm-hmm.
sure that it will be manifested by the employees. No? So
Mm-hmm.
all of this actually, meron kami leadership alignment, culture, governance, system thinking, and the number 5 that I mentioned. So, very important yung to me, no, and to what I have seen in our recent leadership
Mm-hmm.
commitment is really very important. It has to
Mm-hmm.
remain visible long after the launch phase. So imagine that's 3 years ago, nag-relaunch kami ng values. And we call it delight values, DELITE. No? Drive and enthusiasm, leadership, integrity, teamwork, and entrepreneurship. So,
Mm-hmm.
first is we fix the governance. No? Governance muna, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Kasi kailangan there's heading, no? So, we created a small core group. And then, yung first that we did is to get the leadership buy-in, and the first, kasi we created what we call the Delight Values Culture Champions.
Mhm.
At the first batch actually is the leadership team. So
Mhm.
they underwent training, lahat, no?
Mhm.
We explained to them, no, what is this all about. And there are three criterias actually, no, for you to
Mhm.
become, even if you're an executive or a leader or what, no, uh,
Mhm.
you can, not everyone can be a culture champion. So there's a criteria for the
Mhm.
selection and
Mhm.
the nomination, no? Kasi either
Mhm.
the employee volunteers, nominated, no, or nominated by the head, no? So the
Mhm.
first no the first batch is actually the leadership team, no? They are the first leadership culture champion, no, for our delight values. So leadership alignment is really very important, no? Because they set the direction. Kaya I so agree in this leadership alignment. Okay. Second is culture. So may dugtong-dugtong tong kwento na to. So yung culture.
Mhm.
Okay. So for me, no, sustained transformation happens when new behaviors become the new ways of working, yung how things are
Mhm.
done here. So
Mhm.
that's how we can say na successful yung transformation.
Mhm.
They actively involve, no, employees throughout the
Mhm.
journey. No, people support what they help create, diba? And
Mhm.
employees are likely to embrace the change. So going back to our delight values. So after the leadership team, no, of course, there are so many activities in between, no, mga short activities, mga
Mhm.
heavy na mga activities. Kasi it's
Mhm.
really values, no, embedding in the DNA of the employee in the organization. So after
Mhm.
nila, they now nominated their direct reports, to become
Mhm.
culture champion. So again, this culture
Mhm.
champion underwent screening, no? And
Mhm.
then of course orientation, clarification of roles, no?
Mhm.
Expectation settings, no? Kasi
Mhm.
no? So from 100, we became 700 culture
Mhm.
champions.
Mhm.
Since 3 years ago until now, no, we have series of activities, several activities, and then success measures is there, andun lahat. No?
Mhm.
So, and these culture champions at all levels are co-creators of
Mhm.
our programs to further, no, instill. In fact, very simple yung kanilang role, CIA.
Mhm.
Communicate, influence, and act. But we are
Mhm.
already on the third year going forth, di ba? So, meron kaming dinagdag, evangelize. So, we are now in the stage
Mhm.
of evangelizing our
Mhm.
culture values. So, meaning, the culture champion is evangelizing to other employees for them to become culture champions also.
Mhm. Yeah.
And these
Mhm.
values is also part of our performance management. In
Mhm.
the meetings before we start, there's sharing of the values. So all of the activities that we do, the light
Mhm.
values is first. Yeah, so that's culture. And then the third is governance, no? So this is often
Mhm.
underestimated actually, yung governance. So from what I have seen, many organizations and in mine, no, high performing organizations put in place a strong governance mechanism. So to
Mhm.
sustain yung transformation, kasi someone has to look at it, 'di ba? Someone has to
Mhm.
organize, structure it, no? Para the transformation will not drift. So yun yung
Mhm.
importante. This governance or yung governance mechanism na yan, they will identify or define clear ownership, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Establish the transformation, sabi mo na office, cadence, committee, 'di ba? And
Mhm.
use it, no, as a um, as a means, no, to view, to track progress
Mhm.
against the outcomes that we want to have, against the state that we want to have. No? So
Mhm.
So, ano siya, we are not only focused on activities, just activities. So,
Mhm.
governance ensure accountability, uh, making sure that accountability is really ano ba real, no,
Mhm.
visible, oo, continuous. Hindi yung kiniklaim lang natin na we are accountable, but is it really being experienced by your employees, by your organization,
Employees.
that you are taking accountability for that, no? So so and governance also will help remove
Mhm.
roadblocks
Mhm.
if ever there are roadblocks. Kasi at early on, you are able to spot it because you have the team who's really in charge of doing that. And mind you, we did not
Mhm.
hire for this. No? Kami
Mhm.
pa din yun, HR, different
Mhm.
culture champions from different functions, no?
Mhm.
And uh, and 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 this is a classic example of breaking silos.
Mhm.
Yeah, kasi it's representing all functions, all business units, all companies under SM Retail, including SM Store. So it would be easy, no, for this culture transformation to quickly address all of the questions, issues, anything that's escalated, no, to us, no,
Mhm.
and keep the leadership attention, no, focus on this. Kaya yung ano, yung naka ano, yung leadership consistency nandoon, no? So,
Yeah.
and other than that, which is the most important, no, the 700 strong culture champion and more and counting, no, we
Mhm.
invest in their capability building continuously.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
not just at the beginning, meron kaming briefing, orientation, and all that. No, we are continuously for 3 years now, almost 4 years. We have our regular leadership series, leadership forums, culture
Mhm.
champion series. No, we are investing on capability building. So, and yung learning portion, capability portion becomes part of the transformation process.
Yeah.
So yun yung ano,
Mhm.
yun yung one example that I can share with everybody. And then yung fourth is systems thinking. So I think I mentioned it
Mhm.
along the way na this is what ultimately will make the change stick. Kasi when you talk about systems thinking, you recognize that you cannot change one part of the system
Mhm.
in isolation. So
Mhm.
the change should be aligned in your processes, in your performance management, incentives, technology, ano pa ba? And most importantly, the decision-making structure.
Mhm.
More often than not, no, we want to change. We want to invite, for example, for example, value on empowerment. But the decision making is centralized on where? Doon, at the top. No? So how will you support the empowerment transformation when
Mhm.
the decision making is still the old ways of decision making? Na?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
what we say should be the same as what we do.
Yes.
So, and another example is when we say collaboration is the goal, di ba? We incentivize team performance. We don't incentivize individual performance. But
Mhm.
the nuance here actually is that our organization,
Mhm.
all organization, no, are designed hierarchical,
Yeah.
di ba? Are designed differently. Kasi we are 20th, yung mga organization designed during the 20th centuries eh.
Yeah.
And so, the transformation strategies is also 20th century strategy. Di ba?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So, so the transition should be, if you want to do transformation, then change the transformation strategy to 21st transformation strategy, 21st century strategy,
Century,
hindi
yeah.
20th century, di ba?
Mhm,
So, ganon. So, and finally, the organizations who can sustain the transformation successfully view transformation talaga as a journey rather than a project. No? Kasi kung project
mhm,
yan, mag-project management na lang kayo. So may PM, meron kang project manager, tapos may end. No? But it's not, again. No? So the most successful organization, don't ask when will this transformation end.
mhm,
Instead, they build the organization muscle to adapt continuously to the change. You heard about VUCA, you heard about BANI, di ba? So,
mm, mhm,
yun, build the muscle to face
mhm,
VUCA and BANI world. Huh? So, in today's environment, the real competitive advantage is not the ability to um, change once, but rather it is
mhm,
the ability to keep evolving, huh?
mhm,
Um, never stop changing, and always ask for for improvements.
mhm,
Uh, always identify where you can improve on, no?
mhm.
Individually, as a team, and as an organization. Yep, that's it.
Thank you, Beck, for that very insightful answer to this particular question. So I'd like to focus now on our participants. No? So based on so far, no, the discussion that we've had, no, so I'd like us to take some minutes, 2 or 3 minutes for our participants to digest, no, everything that we have heard so far and that we have covered for this afternoon, for this dialogue. And what are some of the insights? No? So kindly type in the chat box your insights on what you have taken from this discussion, so that we can try to summarize, no, what we have heard for today. So ako, definitely, I already have a lot on my list, no, but I'd like to listen to our participants as they put in some of their insights. So what are your aha, no, or your takeaway from this particular dialogue? No? Ayan. So let's try to see in the chat box. So as we allow our participants to put their insights. And Aimee, kindly try to read them as they come to the chat box so that we can acknowledge their insights.
Thank you. Again, Ms. Peng, thank you. Again, napaka rich nung answer, no? Very diverse, but at the same time, very specific, no? Actually, even before they asked the question, it's already been answered. But still, we're thankful for those who are sending in their questions. So please keep them coming. We'll try to make sure that we were able to answer them. And for those who are asking or joined in late, no, don't worry. We'll be posting the recording of this session on our YouTube channel. So you can search for us on YouTube. Just look for Talent Reach. So let me just look at the insights here. So ito, number one, lagi namin ako being HR is not easy. Yes, I have, ever since no, I joined Talent Reach, coming from a different department, I would say, in the corporate, in business development. When I started, sitting in first and then actually doing HR, or attending the HR programs that Ron is conducting, I gained very high respect for HR professionals. Sabi ko, napakahirap pala. But at the same time, it's a very important role that's a lot of times neglected, no? Hindi na-appreciate. But ever since being in this industry, I gained very high respect sa ating mga HR professionals. Yeah. So another is HR is a challenging role because it requires balancing people's emotions and organizational needs, demanding patience, fairness, and resilience every day. True. Then for Almond, change is inevitable and constant. That's true as well. From Elaine, HR must lead and support the implementation of culture champions across the organization. From Lou, culture change is a long journey. Yes, it will never be easy, but not impossible. And of course, from Fernan, HR adaptability is in a challenging world. And then organization development is not just HR job. Yes, we also. From Joya, HR catalysts in culture building and organizational transformation. From Lorenzo, we should all do our part to push together, move forward, and embrace change. And for Haslin, HR should be strategic. Ito yung pinakagusto ko. HR should be strategic in organizational transformation. And from Rachel, not in HR, but I mean L&D, I realized that organizational transformation succeeds only when employee transformation happens. Our role is not simply to conduct training programs, but to help people understand, practice, and sustain the behaviors needed for change. Transformation is not achieved through one-time learning events. It is built through continuous reinforcement, leadership example, and a culture that supports growth. Ayan. Thank you very much for those, sending in their takeaways and what resonates with them and what impacted them. Just to continue from Mark, I totally agree that organizational transformation is not just an HR thing, but a shared responsibility between all operations, units, or departments. HR can only do so much. Departments make their own contribution to make the transformation work. From Michael Biak, HR function plays a critical role in promoting work culture, transformation of people, and the org as well. And for Martin, change should start with one's self. Of course, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for our participants, no, for giving those insights. So, and we will get back to Beng later, since we still have our portions for Q&A, no. So I know that a lot of you have questions prepared, no, for the Q&A. But before we do that, no, let me just continue, no. I just have some few slides, no, to present further before we proceed to our Q&A. Okay. So, what has been discussed this afternoon really presents to us the different dimensions of organizational development. No? That's why, as I've mentioned earlier at my introduction, we definitely, got a good speaker with Beng, talking about organizational development. And I hope that if most of you here are wanting to learn more about OD, so I'd like us to look at this following focus areas. No, take a look at this slide. No, I included here areas, particularly under organizational development, that will create impact. No, now what I'd like to ask from our participant now is to type in the chat box. No, what areas do you think, does your organization need more attention to? No, so is it leadership? Is it culture? Is it structure, systems, change, or strategy execution? So can you just type in the chat box your particular answer for this one so that we can try to understand your particular area of interest. Okay, so we're seeing some answers, Aini. You're unmute.
Oh, sorry about that. I was on mute. Okay. Looking at the answers here, there's one answered all. From Lou, strategy, systems, leadership culture, and strategy execution. All of the above, leadership, strategy. I think there's a lot on leadership and strategy, no? There's also culture and change, culture and strategy, change in system.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that with us. No, so to just summarize and wrap up our session before we dive into our Q&A with Beng. I know that there are questions to be asked, since this was a really insightful discussion. No? But let me just wrap up my from my introduction. No? So we have seen that many leaders recognize the importance of transformation. However, few have really been formally equipped with the frameworks, with the tools, and practical methodologies to lead employee-wide successful change successfully. Now, this gap is exactly why, as an announcement from us in Talent Cheese, no, that's exactly why we are offering the Certified Organizational Development Professional Initiative. It's like, an initiative created. No? Unlike any other traditional leadership or HR training, this focuses on individual development, and CODP is designed to build capability to diagnose, to design, and to drive organization-wide transformation. So again, the goal is not to simply learn concepts, um, but the goal is to produce measurable organizational um, outcomes. No? So stronger execution, greater alignments, and more effective change adoption. No? So in this program, just to promote our program that's coming in this coming July, participants will learn how to diagnose organizational issues with confidence, no? Analyze systems, structures, and root causes, as well as design and facilitate change initiatives. No? Also align leaders, culture, and process around business goals. Of course, not to forget to build long-term organizational capability, no, that remains after individual projects. CODP, in this case, will equip leaders with a practical transformation toolkit that they can immediately apply inside their organization. Okay, so I would like to engage our participant. No, based on what you've heard this afternoon, is this something learning? Is learning about organizational development a certain area of your interest? No? And if so, no, I'd like to invite you. Um, we are posting in the chat box right now a link. No, it's a Google form that we are asking you to fill up. No, as we are discussing this initiative. No, for you to be able to signify your interest. No, and if you're interested, no, then we can definitely engage with you with regard to the program that is upcoming this coming July 4. Okay, so I will stop here first, no, so that Justin kindly put in our link Google form so that our participants or our attendees, no, are able to connect and fill up form. Okay,
All
there.
right. Just to
So
guide our participants on what the form is about, this is not actually signing up for the program yet, no? Just to let you know, we are actually this program is by invitation, so we are actually sharing this form. So if you have an interest, what you can expect after the form is to receive the details of the program, and also to get to know you as well. If this is something that's aligned to your self-developmental plans, definitely you will be hearing from us. But not everyone. Again, this isn't an enrollment or anything of that sort. This is just to get your information so that we can share the details and also help you see if this is something that's aligned with your goals in developing or in adding more skills into your credentials. Yan. Baka kasi isipin nyo enrollment na yan, hindi pa naman. So this is really just to allow us, no, to send the details to you. So there's just a few questions there that you can answer so that we can really understand. Ayan. And we've gathered as well your questions. So later on, we will be reading on those questions and we will ask, of course, our speaker and our guest panelists to address those questions. Hopefully, we get to answer all of them. If not, again, you are welcome to reach out to us we invite you to follow our platforms. We're on Facebook, we're also on LinkedIn, and we also have a YouTube channel where we post. So kanina, I saw some questions if there are free trainings. We have free
Mhm.
webinars. It's about, usually it runs for an hour. So if you're interested to, if you have, you can watch them at your own convenient time. That's why we put the free webinar recordings on our YouTube channel for those who are wanting to go back, no, dun sa mga topics that we have discussed. And if, of course, if you would like to make an investment, kasi it takes an investment, no, especially if you're learning a skill, you're welcome to reach out to us for programs that you might be interested. We can share our training program catalogs that we have for 2026. We can customize as well. Yeah. Okay.
So again, over the coming weeks, we are going to conduct a limited number of conversations for those who are interested in the COE journey. And because the program is intended for leaders who are actively driving change, and committed to producing tangible uh, organizational results. So if you think that you are your organization needs a stronger transformation capability, this might be an opportunity for you to gain an access to such program and frameworks, and eventually, a community of practitioners. And um, this is where I think, just to share with you, one of the reasons why I did invite Beng Orosa, because we share similar interests in terms of our passion for people and probably in terms of organizational development. No? So to segue to our Q&A, that's the reason why I've invited her, and hopefully we can start this type of community. No? In our case, she also is part of a community under PMAP, that also promotes organizational development. No? But definitely, I always believe of the abundance mentality that we can create more community. No? So there is that particular need to discuss this particular topic. Okay, so let's now try to engage in terms of our questions, because I saw in the chat box that there were some questions posted. No, so we'd like to take some time to answer some of the questions, and we'd like to engage Beng to answer some of them.
Okay, let's go to
Amy?
the first question. No? Maganda yung unang tanong. How do you distinguish between a transformation effort that is hitting a goal versus one that is fundamentally flawed and needs to be killed?
Beng?
Wow, that's a very strong question, challenging the leadership team in the transformation
Yeah.
journey. So Lorenzo, Christian, Sotilio, napaka-challenging ng question mo. Actually, okay, ganito. The premise is that before the transformation, I talked about the governance. No? So the governance should have been able to uh, identified or created a predefined checkpoints where the leaders can objectively assess whether to scale, pivot, or terminate a transformation initiative. So yon. But if not, it was not considered in the design phase, or the governance is not was not able to create that, no.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is actually I distinguish between temporary underperformance and a broken premise. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we have two, temporary underperformance and a broken premise. So if the assumption remains valid, and the leading indicators are improving, I would only refine the details of the programs or initiatives, and I will continue. If the assumptions are parang disproven, and the initiatives or the initiative is no longer creating a strategic value, no, I would pivot or stop it. That's the
Mhm.
easiest answer. Now,
Mhm.
basic questions. Now, when you do that, no, are we still achieving the leading indicators? That's the first question. If you will decide, no, to pivot or to terminate the initiative, no. So first is, are we achieving the leading indicators? Are we still achieving, diba? Are our assumptions when we started the program still true? So para kang nagpo-four-way truth test. Ganon.
Mhm.
And then the last, okay, is the problem execution or design?
Mhm.
No? So kasi if it's execution, then adjust. If it's design, then
Mhm.
adjust. No? If the strategy is still sound, but the execution is weak, you can correct and continue. So that's that's my answer for number one.
All right, thank you,
I think
Miss.
we have the second
Uh,
question.
Yeah,
mm-mm.
let's go to the another question here that we received. No, there's another question from Lorenzo, but let's give way to another question here from another participant. Says our organization has experienced frequent changes in top management, resulting in shifts in values, policies, and overall direction. Employees are resisting these changes but remain in the organization. What strategies can we implement to effectively manage this resistance and support successful organizational transition? This is a question from Dream.
Mm-mm. Okay. First, so there are some changing top management na. Okay.
Mhm.
First, address the change of changing the leadership. So I've been through a lot of leadership changes, no?
Mhm.
And we cannot demand from everyone that as the leaders change, you see them change 1 second, 1 minute after. No?
Mhm.
So we cannot expect that. So first and foremost, communicate the change. No?
Mhm.
Number one, HR cannot do anything about the change in top management or the change in leadership. That's given, di ba? So
Mhm.
what we can do is communicate the change and then plan out because changing leaders, changing top management is actually a decision at the top, di ba?
Mhm.
No? So I mentioned about VUCA, I mentioned about money, di ba? Complex, brittle, always changing, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, Transparency and communication is the best way to manage the change in top management. And then after that, that's the time you shift to the next changes. So ano
Mhm.
muna, focus on the change in the top management first. Communicate, be transparent about it. What are the changes? What are the expectations? Make it clear to everybody first. Then before you go to the changing of the transformation or doing your transformation journey first. So cooling period muna. Okay.
Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Beng.
Thank
I
you.
think that addresses the question for this one. I am going back to the question from Lorenzo because given that that strategy, saying that communication and transparency are the best ways to actually manage those changes. Yung second question ni Lorenzo is many organizations suffer from change fatigue because they try to fix everything at once or rapid changes. So how do you balance the need for comprehensive transformation with the reality of employee burnout?
Mm. Actually, ano yan eh, no, especially the middle managers, they're in the middle, diba? They're in the middle, they manage the top, the directions at the top, and they manage the anxiety of the people below them, no? And then
Mhm.
the leaders is while doing those two, they expect the report at 3 p.m. So so imagine the demand, the pressure on that middle manager. No, so Lorenzo, one of the biggest mistake in transformation is confusing speed with progress. So
Mhm.
people, people has finite, hindi infinite, has a finite bandwidth to absorb changes, make changes and everything. So, meron tayong hanggang doon na lang yung kaya, no? So that can be absorbed, no? And they really struggle. I recognize that they really struggle when too many changes compete, no? For attention, no? For action simultaneously. So my practice, and this is what I also advise, no, other transformation teams, no. I focus on three principles. Uh, prioritizing, uh, when you prioritize the one that has value over volume. So, kasi we recognize that we have finite power, di ba? As human beings. So not every problem needs to be solved at once. So identify the few changes that create the greatest strategic impact and value to your organization. Sequence them. Kasi nga, di ba, as I have said earlier, we are not or are no longer managing it sequentially. Simultaneously is happening. So identify that and then sequence according to priority of importance and with greatest strategic value. So that's the first. The second one, we're very familiar with low-hanging fruits.
Mhm.
Diba? So yung visible wins. Kasi people tend to get inspired when they see where there's small wins. No? So focus on visible wins because the employees will be more than willing to embrace more changes when they see that there are that their efforts are gaining fruits. No? The small wins are being recognized, being announced. And then third, again, yung capacity management, no? Take only what you can take. O, take only what you can take, no? So, dalawang take, no? But, kasi, yung transformation should never be like, para siyang, portfolio ba? Or menu, no? In the restaurant. No? So, it's not like that. No? Um, um, we need to assess, no? We need to assess whether the organization has the bandwidth, no, to absorb all of it, to implement all of it, no? Otherwise, kung hindi, talagang yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung transformation overload will really be real, no? And instead of them making progress, they will fail. We will all fail, no? Kasi sobrang loaded, no? So, I believe ang mga leaders naman natin would listen, no? And siguro they should listen, no? Kasi these are the feedback from the employees, no? Dito tayo talaga magkakaroon ng mga transformation fatigue, transformation initiative overload, no? So we need to listen to our employees' feedback, see how they feel, conduct kayo ng further FGDs or, check on your ENPS, Employee Promoter Scores. If it's really going down, diba, it is something that you should go back to the table and discuss it. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Beng, for that answer. So, so do we still have one more question, or are we good with the set of questions?
Actually, dun sa mga sinagot ni Miss Beng, no, na-answer na rin yung, like, again, basically the same question yung strategies, no, when the employees are resisting change. I think she was able to cover on that, on what she has just discussed. So again, thank you very much to all those who stayed and sent in their questions. Ronnie, if
Yeah.
you would like to wrap up.
Okay. So to wrap up our executive dialogue, let's first give our warm round of applause and appreciation for Beng Arosa for gracing our simple dialogue. So you made this really extra special by making sure that this we are able to have on to our to our audience. No? And we definitely see you. No, I'm seeing that we will invite you again for another round of dialogue. Hopefully, if your time permits, for this one. So thank you again, Beng Orosa,
Thank you very
for
much.
this.
The
Yeah,
pleasure is mine.
yeah. Okay, so to close our session for this afternoon, just to have my closing remarks. No? So, um, the organization that will thrive in the years ahead will not necessarily be those that are with the best intentions, but those with the strongest capability to transform. No? So we look forward, for all of our participants in behalf of Talent Beach. We'd like to see you continue, your conversation with us. So please check our Facebook page for our next set of executive dialogue. So thank you, and good afternoon to everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Miss
Thank you.
Beng. And
Thank
to
you,
all
thank
those who are
you.
asking questions, reach out to us. You can email us. Our email address is there if you have other questions about this program. And please follow us on our platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thank you, everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you.